Yes, here we go. Here we go. Hello, everybody. How is your Wednesday going? Nice to see we got all the usual suspects here. Hey, Spaz, Jonathan, Chloe, Trey, Kayla, Dakoba. Oh boy. Oh boy. I hope everyone's day is going well, and we are going to be getting into Alan Wake Remastered finally. Finally. I'm so freaking excited I can't even express it. First stream we've gotten to catch, Peachy? Well, glad to have you. Hey there, Stove, how you doing? So, I just want to put this out there. Who has played this before, or at least seen it, and who has not? Real quick. Hello, Tanae. It's going great now. Perfect, Dakoba. You hope to see some control references? Well, Nicholas, I have actually already played through the entire game, and I have isolated all the control references I could find right off the bat, and I'll make sure to point them out as we go. Seen it, not played it. You haven't either, Chloe, 25% of it. So, what I plan to do, and I'm trying to make a 50-50 way of handling this, I don't want to have chat or myself give out spoilers for the story of Alan Wake itself as we play through it, because I want to be fair to everyone who hasn't played it to give you the best experience possible. That being said, I still want to point out anything that's directly related to control or pose questions about the plot of Alan Wake in advance without actually saying what's going on. So here's what's happening. During stream, spoiler free. I think that's the easiest way to do it. But once I put the VOD up, everyone can jump into the comments there, and then we'll discuss everything unrestricted by spoilers, if that works for everybody. Played back in 2010, Gustavo? Wonderful. You've seen a Let's Play of it, V? I don't know about the stuff you talked about in the video, so most of this is going to be brand new then. But that's what we're going to do. I'm going to bite my tongue throughout most of this. I'll be kind of a tease when it comes to the plot, but I won't say anything. But that being said, there is actually some Easter eggs or some new content that, without giving away too much, happens after the end of the story. So when we get to those parts, I'll explain the rules for those sections. Never heard of this game before? What's it about? Well, it's about an author with writer's block, and that's all I'm going to be saying, Cinnamon. So no spoilers during the live stream. Exactly. Alright, everybody. So I went ahead and sped run through this just so that we could unlock Nightmare Mode. Because the reason why is there are certain documents that only show up in the hardest difficulty, and therefore I wanted to make sure I played it for the first time with everybody here, so we can get everything. Hello, Max. How are you doing? Yes, it's going to be archived, not again. Absolutely. I'll probably put it up tomorrow morning. How's everything going, Max? I know it's a little bit late for you. All right, everyone. Excited? Let's go. Cheers in the chat. Overwrite the existing checkpoint? Yes.
Stephen King once wrote that nightmares exist outside of logic, and there's little fun to be had in explanations. They're antithetical to the poetry of fear. In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but there can be no explanation, and there shouldn't be one. The unanswered mystery is what stays with us the longest, and it's what we'll remember in the end. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer. I've always had a vivid imagination, but this dream unsettled me. It was wild and dark and weird, even by my standards. So yes, it began with a dream. Following a typical nightmare pattern, I was late, desperately trying to reach my destination, a lighthouse. For some urgent reason, I couldn't remember. I'd been driving too fast down a coastal road to get there.
Whoopsie.
I'd seen the hitchhiker too late. He was dead. I was convinced they'd put me in jail and I would never see Alice again.
Rut-row.
Suddenly, his body was gone.
Episode 1, Nightmare.
I was in shock from the crash. I could hardly stay on my feet.
Smoke in the Darkness pack, absolutely. Alright, let's go get our button defaults set up, and we're good to go. So I am going to pause real quick. I'm going to shut the lights off on my end, because there's no way to play a thriller horror game without it being in the dark. And then performance mode on Streamlabs, and we'll be good to go. Alright. I might be streaming this weekend, Stove. Only I'm trying to get the next Psychonauts video set up, so I'm gonna have to try to schedule that. I'll let everyone know though. And here we go. Gotta get spoopy. Alright, so 100% honest, my computer a little bit has been having a little bit of graphical issues, but it's entirely my rig being weird, where it'll play perfectly for an hour and a half and then get a little odd, but we'll see if that happens here. I made a few changes.
The radiator had broken when I hit the hitchhiker. The car wasn't going anywhere.
Nowhere at all.
I had to go to the lighthouse. I knew there was something important waiting for me there. I was certain I had just driven from this direction, but now the road was blocked.
There's absolutely new content for sure. Yeah, October, perfect for horror games. So in case anyone did not notice, we are in a specific town here in this nightmare. We'll see another sign showing it, though. Usually when I dream I crash my car, just like, oh man, well, do better next time. Exactly. Yeah, I know, right? So, as Tacoba mentioned, the trunk of the car was full of a book that Alan had written, so it's not like he left any kind of evidence behind.
The bridge had collapsed. I have to find another way to the lighthouse.
We're reading a book. Well, again, he is an author, so it's going to happen that way. So we got our first out of 100 thermoses. These are entirely collectibles. And if you notice here, we are entering Night Springs. So both of those, the coffee thermos and Night Springs, were mentioned in Control. One is actually in the Panopticon. Here we go. Little note, point of interest, there's a missing sign with Alan's face on it. So apparently he's missing. Hey, you're playing this? Wait, what freaked you out? Right here, Alan Wake, The Sudden Stop. This is the book, his most recent book right here. Yes, we can just walk past the orange cones. Nothing stops us in a nightmare.
You don't even recognize me, do you, Ryder? You think you're God? You think you can just make up stuff? Play with people's lives and kill them when you think it adds to the drama? You're in this story now, and I'll make you suffer. You're a joke. There wouldn't be a single readable sentence in your books if it wasn't for your editor. You'll never publish another one of your shitty stories, 'cause I'm gonna kill you. It's not like your stories are any good. Not like they have any artistic merit. You're a lousy writer. Cheap thrills and pretentious shit. That's all you're good for. Just look at me. Look at your work.
So, if anyone's ever had negative self-talk in their head, that is about the worst it can be. This guy is a famous writer, and he thinks all of his work is absolute shit. Now, anyone who's asking about new additional content, well, right here on this screen. He's trying to hurt my feelings, exactly. So everyone, check out this screen right here. We got a QR code. Now, anybody who has played this game before and knows the story, we're going to go ahead and look at what's on the other side of this QR code. Anybody who has not played this game, I want you to mute the game. And as soon as I unpause it, you can come back. Fair enough? Alright, let's do this. Yes, his inner critic is demonic. Okay, give me a second. Again, mute it if you've never played this game before, but we're going to play this right now.
I was trapped here. Had been for what felt like years. Outside reality. What we count as real. I wrote to find a way out. I wrote to master this place. To learn its secrets. Use that knowledge to rewrite my reality. Once upon a time, I had written hard-boiled crime books set in New York City. Till I was sick of it. The Alex Casey books. A detective solving cases of murder. Corruption and madness in the Dark City. This place tapped into my unconscious mind. Drew from there. Twisting what it stole into a nightmare that took shape around me. A mystery. A detective story. I needed a detective to guide me. Echoes of Casey haunted me.
And we are back. Oh boy. Okay, everyone can unmute it. Oh boy, so we're getting those little graphical glitches on my end. Let me know if it gets too bad, because normally it's generally okay. I'm not sure exactly what's causing it, though. So we're not going to talk about what we just heard, but that is basically a continuation to what was going on in the AWE DLC. And there are multiple QR codes all the way throughout.
Damn. You can't stop me.
Yeah, honestly, we're usually always our biggest critics when it comes to anything. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm very nervous every time I post something new up. Every single time.
I realized that the hitchhiker was a character from the story I'd been working on.
We actually just listened to... Whoa, what's going on there? See, no one else has mentioned this before, but I am having issues on my end. Let me see. Okay, let me know if that gets bad, because I'm not sure what's causing it. Let me turn the, yeah. 1 second. And it seems like those little graphical things is just happening for me.
How does it feel to die by the hands of your own creation?
No, my GPU isn't dying. Actually, give me a second. Sorry for the delays on here. Because honestly, right now, my GPU is only running at like 18% utility right now. Sorry, dude. So there is a little bit of a backstory to this bad boy right here. Alan was working on a book, I want to say when he first got started writing. He killed a hitchhiker at the start, but never finished the story, so basically he created a hitchhiker only to kill him, and there's no purpose behind it because he never actually finished the plot. So yeah, he's a little pissed off. Okay, you got it, Clay, whoever you are.
Oh no!
It should be rendering at 1080, or at least exporting to you guys at 1080.
No! Damn it, die! No! No! No!
We're playing on PC Epic Game Store. Unfortunately, I don't have a PS5.
I was trapped. There was no way out.
Oh boy. And again, another Control reference. We have a new poster here. I won't say anything past that. Yes, Alex Casey is essentially the Max Payne stand-in for this game.
The cabin was a death trap. I had to get out.
That's weird, because my settings in Streamlabs have it at 1080. I don't know why it's not doing that. Oh gosh. Hey there, Hannah, how are you?
Follow the light.
You are hurt. You should go into the light. You are only safe there.
Oh no, you're good. Exactly, speaking of Max Payne.
Well done. I have something important to tell you. It goes like this. For he did not know that beyond the lake he called home lies a deeper, darker ocean green, where waves are both wilder and more serene. To its ports I've been. To its ports I've been. Do you understand?
No.
Not at all.
My life. I entered your dream to teach you. The darkness is dangerous. It's sleeping now. When it feels you coming, it will wake up. There's no time. I can only show you the most important thing.
Okay. So if anyone does not know, this is voiced by Max Payne as well as Director Trench.
The hitchhiker has been taken over by the dark presence. You can't hurt him now. The darkness protects him.
As far as
from
I
all
know,
harm.
no.
Only
Hold
light
on.
can drive the darkness away and make him vulnerable again. Here, take the light.
So I've only ever played Psychonauts 2 on this console, or on this
Pick
PC.
up the flashlight. Turn your flashlight toward him and burn the darkness away.
So yeah, I have no clue what it is. I've been messing around with certain settings. Hold on, graphics. Someone was saying something about these anti-aliasing things were could be causing it. So do we think we want to do a no battery run? Come on. And I just failed it right there.
You did it. Now the darkness no longer
My impatience got the
protects
better of
him
me.
inside, controlling him. He can't be saved. He's still a threat. He is still your enemy. Here, take the gun.
But this is a tutorial, so it doesn't count.
Good. You've done well. Remember what I've taught you. That is all. I will give you back your dream now.
Thank you for giving my dream back to me.
In the nightmare, a terrible darkness was taking over the world. The lighthouse was the last safe place on Earth.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get our first collectible. We got a little pyramid of beer cans. There we go. We're playing on Nightmare difficulty right now, so we can get all of the manuscripts. So if anyone's interested on my full breakdown of the Nightmare sequence, I actually do have a video put up, which is all about breaking down the symbolism throughout this entire section. I'll when I put the VOD up, I'll link out to it. But if anyone didn't pick up on it, there actually is some Quantum Break Easter eggs in that poem that the light was telling us, specifically talking about a using the terms wilder and serene. Those are the names of characters from that game. And weirdly enough, it's funny, they actually updated the game. They don't have Energizer brand batteries anymore because after the original game was released, Energizer was kind of pissed off about how they portrayed it in the game. So now they just have generic branded ones. So let's go ahead and grab a flare gun. It's a weird form of Shadow Clone Jutsu. No crap. We have like 15 freaking hitchhikers all around us. So again, if anyone has joined us since, this is going to be a spoiler-free run. So not even in chat, don't mention anything. And I'll do my best to regulate any information I want to discuss. All right. Alright, so there's a little trick in this game if you decide to play it yourself, is when you do the bright flash, it actually stuns them for a period of time, but if you hold it on, it will lose its effectiveness and they'll just break through it, so you kind of have to stagger it. Yes, so when the VOD goes up, we can discuss as much spoilers as we want, but we're going to try to be respectful for anybody who has not played this yet, and let them enjoy it for the first time. Exactly, screw that product placement. Actually, I think Verizon was a product placement in this as well. Oh, jeez. Run. Okay, so there is one change in assets right here before we get to the lighthouse. I'm going to point out as soon as we get there. He is going to need a bigger boat. Jeez. Oh, boy. Hold on, let's grab you. So originally, this little tube right here had the name, words Cape Campbell put onto it to mark the name of this entire area. Campbell obviously being a reference to Joe Campbell from The Hero's Journey.
Baby, just another nightmare. Everything's fine. You dozed off.
Right. Anything more than dozed off would be news for everyone.
Cheer up, handsome. We're here.
And here we go. Welcome to Bright Falls, everybody. For return visitors, welcome back, and for first-timers, you're going to enjoy this. And yes, I am not sure if there's going to be any Remedyverse Easter eggs in Crossfire X's Campaign Banana. We'll have to wait and find out. There actually, Chloe, later on, there is going to be something I'm going to point to that may remind you more of Polaris. That actually was in the original game, weirdly enough.
Let's act like we're on vacation. Go stand next to that old gentleman there. I want a shot of you with the town in the background.
Yes, Paul.
Sure. I'll even give you a title for the shot. A city boy, moments before he got eaten by a bear.
Yes, he still has no cardio skills at all in this game. He's a writer. He doesn't know how to exercise. He doesn't own a treadmill.
Hello there. You picked a good time to visit our town. Deerfest is just 2 weeks away.
Deerfest, huh? Did you hear that, honey?
You have a lovely wife. If you don't mind me saying. I'm Pat Maine, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm Alan Wake.
I won't pretend I don't recognize a famous writer such as yourself, Mr. Wake. A pleasure. I'm an avid reader myself. I hope this isn't too presumptuous of me, but I'm the night host at the local radio station. Any chance I could get an interview?
Look, Mr. Maine, I'm on vacation. In fact, I'd appreciate it if we could keep my being here just between the two of us. I'm sure you understand.
Fair enough. You can trust me to be discreet. Not a hard man to track down if you change your mind, though. I hope you two have a lovely holiday.
Thank you, thank you. The night owl in the flesh.
Very nice. I got a couple of really
I'm
good
gonna try not
ones.
to talk through these dialogue
Meet a
pieces.
friend. That's cute.
Right. Yeah?
Hey, bestseller. How's my favorite writer? Are you there yet?
Barry. Yeah. We just got here.
Are the locals giving you trouble? Just say the word and I'll hop on a plane and come make sure that you're left alone, Al.
No, Barry, we're fine.
Great, great. Just want to make sure you can relax and recharge. So, how is the place? Has it gotten your creative juices flowing?
Barry, we're just settling in.
Okay, Al. I'll call back later to make sure you're doing okay. And you call me if there's a problem, okay? Okay. I'm just looking out for you, buddy. Talk to you later.
I love you too, Barry.
You know he's going to be calling you every
It looks like
5
it's still a
minutes.
Lincoln too.
Barry is Barry. I can always turn off the phone.
What did I tell you?
Text message from Barry. He says hi to you too.
Okay. We've got a couple things to look at while we're here.
Alan, we're here.
Nope, we're
Come
not
on,
there
let's
yet.
get back to the
We're not
car.
leaving yet. So first and foremost, we got L. Jenkins over there, so we have a Leroy Jenkins reference. Let's go talk to this gentleman over here.
Damn yuppies.
Come on. Don't be a douche. Be friendly.
Let's see who has the last laugh, city boy.
Okay.
Yeah,
you too.
screw you too. All right, so for anybody who knows Control's
Come on,
plot,
Slowpoke. You get the full service here. I've made all the arrangements. I drive the car. I'll even carry the bags. All you have to do is drag your cute butt into the car and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, sounds like you've got a lazy bastard for a husband.
Yeah, but I got a thing for him. Come on, you lazy bastard. Let's go.
all right. So down here on in this map, this is a map of Bright Falls, but if you look all the way to the left where the neck of his shadow is, we have the neighboring town of Watery, Washington. And that just happens to be a town where our favorite janitor is vacationing.
We need to stop at the local diner to get the cabin key from the landlord, a Mr. Carl Stuckey. He's waiting for us. I'll go
Watery.
fill her up while you get the key. I'll pick you up here in, say, 15 minutes.
Sure.
Alan, thank you for coming here with me.
I love you too. Go on. I'll promise to behave.
He's not going to behave. At all.
I'd forgotten there were still places like this. Towns where everybody knew everybody.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner.
Hi, I was wondering if you could help me. I'm looking for...
Mr. Wake, Alan Wake. Oh God, I am your biggest fan. I know people say that all the time, but
Did the
I
audio just
really
go out?
am.
I'm glad to hear that.
Rose.
Rose, I'm looking for Mr. Stuckey. Carl Stuckey?
Carl? Of course, Mr. Wake. He must have gone to visit the restroom. He'll be back in a moment.
I can't believe it.
Okay, I think it's just you then, Cosmo.
I got the cutout from the bookstore when they took it out of the window.
That's not
Keep it
creepy
here.
at all.
Well, okay. Good for you.
Okay, Rose, thank you. So a couple more things about her that I think is funny
Try the
is...
Just don't blame me
Okay,
when you fall
Rusty.
in love, 'cause it'll break your heart when you have to leave.
Rusty, I'm
Rusty
talking.
here is no longer human. Nothing but black coffee under a thin layer of skin.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
So in the Night Springs prequel, sorry, Bright Falls prequel TV show, she actually has a TV
I can't believe it.
set up in the corner so she can watch us all day.
Right.
Are you on your own?
So
or
much for
is your
quiet
wife with you?
vacation.
I can show you the town if you want. I get off work at 6.
I'm married,
Thanks,
Rose.
Rose.
I'm
Be sure to keep that in mind.
married. Seriously, girl. All right. So this is a little tidbit that is very easy to miss, but if you look at this newspaper right here, they mentioned that there's a UFO scare and the lights in the sky are scaring the population. So there's a giant light that keeps being seen all over town. But yeah, she talks in the, not in the game, they don't mention it, but if no one's here, she literally will talk to the cardboard cutout. It's kind of creepy.
Do me a favor, Sonny. I could really use a tune right now. Coconut, number 6 in the jukebox. I'd do it myself, but both of my legs have gone to sleep. Bad circulation. Yeah.
Are you serious? Coconut again? You disgust me. Call yourself a rocker. Unbelievable.
Best boys right here.
You put the lime in the coconut, drink them both up.
Just because we're brothers, don't think I won't murder you in your sleep.
Alright, guys. Alright, chill. Chill, chill, chill. So, another quick little thing. I feel like this is going to be an Easter egg, the Let's Play, right now. So, if you look on this gentleman's hand, he's got a serpent ring right there. Alright. So, in terms of the jukebox, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I'm not going to...
Children of the Elder God.
Guys, I'm talking. Alright, so this actually, if I play this, there's actually a DMCA warning on the song in here. So I'm not going to play it, but it plays that coconut song about mixing your drinks and going to see the doctor and stuff. I'm going to try not to get it copyright claimed, though, so we're going to just leave it for now. Hi.
Don't go in there, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
I think I can handle it, ma'am.
Okay.
You
I
don't
didn't
want
want
to
to
die,
wait.
do
I
you?
wanted to find
Worse.
Stucky, to get the key and get out as soon as possible. The waitress was giving me a headache. Overeager fans always did.
It's funny, in the survival guide, there's actually... I'm not sure if it's the survival guide or not, but Alan's kind of thinking to himself during the section, it's not in the game, that he's making comparisons to her as Annie Wilkes from Misery. If you've ever seen that film or read that book, you'll know why it's relevant.
Hello? Mr. Stucky?
Carl couldn't make it. Unfortunately, he was taken ill. But I have the key for you and instructions on how to get to the lake.
Okay.
I wish you a good stay in my cabin. I'll come by later to check how you've settled in. And to meet your wife. I insist.
Thanks.
You should be working on your admissions paperwork. Well, you can multitask. It's all
Lake
good.
is a special place. Very inspiring.
Okay. If you say so, funeral lady. Moving on. Yeah, it's absolutely legit.
Lucky this time, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark. This really ought to be fixed, and then I must remind Sarah to change the lights at the station. It's been too long already.
Okay. So, okay, let me just ask before I continue on with this. What do you guys want me to discuss? I can just be like Easter egg the Let's Play, or get into the more thematic conversations that I discuss in my regular videos. Let me know, but for now, let's head back down the hall.
I hadn't seen her leave, but the old lady was gone.
Thematic convos? Okay. Alrighty then. We'll discuss them as we go, which is actually going to be one coming up in a second as soon as we get to the next cutscene. So if anyone hasn't recognized this, this character is based upon the log lady from Twin Peaks. Let's go on then.
Even that sounds better than your singing.
Are you all right?
Splendid, splendid. Damn hernia. It swells up like a balloon if I lift anything heavier than a spoon.
Probably tomorrow, Cinnamon. I'll have it uploaded then.
Splendid. It's been a long time, Tom.
My name's not Tom.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to have a bottle on you, would you, Tom?
No.
I wish.
Not at all. All right, so if we're going to talk about themes, basically this song right here, if you know the Lime and the Coconut song, basically the point of the story is you get sick from mixing that with your drink, and you get nauseous from the whole thing, so you call up your doctor, and the doctor prescribes you the exact same thing that made you sick in the first place. And of course, this gentleman, that's his favorite tune. So if you know anything about the characters, you'll know why that's relevant. If you've never played the game, we'll find out.
The Andersons, they're local musicians. We're waiting for Dr. Hartman to come pick them up. They wandered off from his clinic at the Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Okay. Goodbye. We're out of here. Hi, wifey.
Hi, Mr. Wake.
Bye, stalker lady.
Mission accomplished. The key and the directions.
My
yes,
hero.
Vic, the coconut song is filled with lore.
Flashlights, just in case.
Everything is filled with lore.
Hey, wait! Mrs. Wake! Your keys!
Ruh-roh. So creepy lady gave us keys to a place we weren't supposed to go to.
Can you believe this place? This
I
would make a wonderful setting.
I think you mix them all together, Max. That's what you do.
Alice. I'll figure it out when we get back home. Okay?
Okay. We can talk about this later.
Batman here on PBFF.
I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to bury my head in sand.
Here's another one of my favorites to go with it.
Once upon a time, I was a successful writer, but that was a long time ago. I hadn't been able to write a word in 2 years. Not since my last book.
And now the weather. It's gonna be a clear night, so you folks...
Hold on. Where did my cursor go? I'm going to try to talk through this because there's a DMCA going on here. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. I try to mute the audio and it's not working. At least I don't think it's working. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Okay, hold on. Let's get back over here. And flip this back on. I'm not sure if I tried to mute it right there. I'm not sure if it actually worked or not.
It's something, all right. Don't worry, honey. I'll get you inside safe and sound before it gets dark. And I've got the flashlight.
I know.
Well,
okay.
Alice had a phobia. The fear of darkness.
Damn it.
I wanted to make sure we were inside with the lights on before sunset.
Okay, before we go do that, we're going to head up the hill. Yeah, I clicked over to Streamlabs and tried to mute the desktop audio, but it did not work, so we'll... if I have to demonetize this, that's no problem to me. No, Alice is not racist, no. She's just nyctophobic. Oof, inner monologues, yes. Oh, boy. So here we are, Cauldron Lake. And Bird's Leg Cabin on Diver's Island. Always go to the ocean. Always, always.
The cabin obviously got its name from the shape of the island. It looked like a giant bird leg. Alice had mentioned that the lake was a caldera. There was a dormant volcano under it.
So we're in a caldera lake. There was once an eruption here, which caused the entire volcanic chamber to collapse, and it filled with water. So this is where we're at here. But on top of that, if you look at the shape of this right here, this bird leg, this island shaped like a bird's leg, is actually in reference to, I forgot which folklore it was, but it was Northern European folklore regarding Baba Yaga, who was said to reside in a cabin that stood on chicken legs. Weirdly enough, in the original version of the game, when they're still developing it, this cabin was supposed to get up on legs and start walking around at night. So during the day, it would sit here, but at night, it would get up and start walking around. Never actually happened, but that was the original intention. But I will not mention why Baba Yaga is relevant here. Again, if you know the game, it'll make more sense. All right, you ready? Let's go. Ugh. I'm sorry about any of the graphical issues. It's entirely my PC. Oh, trust me, I'm working on a side project that's basically gonna be breaking down every little last thing in the game. So this is great practice for me. And of course, we got some ravens sitting up here, waiting for us to arrive. The PC security channel? I don't even know what that is. Why take that out? It'd be creepy as hell. The whole thing's creepy as hell. So in other news, if you look at the side of this building here, I'm going to be your tour guide for today through Alan Wake Remastered. So these are intended to be eyeballs. You got the beak, so you got a bird's face on the side of the structure. No worries, Kayla.
Here we go. Let's take a look inside.
And let's go in. By button mashing. Odin may be looking out for us. It's entirely possible.
We need lights. Can you figure out how to get the power on, honey?
I'll figure it out if I can. Alright, so let's look at these.
Here?
A shoebox filled with books by Thomas Zane sat on the shelf. I'd never heard of him before.
So we got 4 books by a Thomas Zane. In Her Dreams Prevail, Kept from Sleep. If anything, if you're kept from sleep, that means you're awake, wink wink. The Labyrinth of Me, and the Temple of Shadow and Mist. So Temple of Shadow and Mist, in my opinion, is probably reference to Niflheim from Norse mythology, being the land of shadow and mist. And it's relevant, and I believe I talk about it in some of my videos as well, if you want more information. I think it's either supposed to look like feathers or like fish scales or something. Not 100% positive. So let's just wander around a little bit down here. Fun fact, if you like go straight to the generator because you're trying to explore, it skips directly to her being inside. Oh, really? Nope, not really, Kayla. We're just here to take a look at everything. It is absolutely gorgeous down here. If I remember correctly, this entire set piece is intended to be a reference, or at least based upon a place in either Washington or Oregon called Wizard Lake. You can look it up. Down to having an island in the middle of the lake itself.
The Deer Fest guests have already started to arrive. Just ran into one on the ferry.
Yes, Trey, he is a real writer.
We'll see if we can rope him into an interview later on. Now let's go to the phones. Caller, you're on KBF-FM.
Hi, Pat. It's Rose.
Why, hello, Rose. What's on your mind?
I know who that famous artist was. It was Alan Wake, wasn't it? He's my favorite writer.
Rose, I
just saw him at the diner. Oh, I am...
Damn it, Rose!
He's here.
I'm sure he's glad to be here, too. Well, folks, I guess the secret's out. This is Pat Maine on KBF-FM. And now some music.
Great. So much for...
Alright, let's head inside real quick before... Okay, so that is a song called Air Kissing by Violet Indiana, and that is DMCA'd as well. Now, this tune called Air Kissing is actually, the basic theme of it goes directly into Alan's personal mindset right now. And it has to do...
like a
hold on.
capsule from the 60s, or even earlier.
It basically has to do with an individual who feels like he was brought up and encouraged and put into a certain position by a group of people to the point where he was the top dog of his entire field. And then once he no longer was able to produce, they just dump him like he is a pack of garbage and no longer exists. They care about you only so long as you continue to dance for them. And right here, July 1970, so we have 4th of July marked. The calendar hasn't been updated since the 70s.
For a moment, the oppressive feel of the nightmare I had seen on the ferry returned.
And again, if you're a Twin Peaks fan, having the owl right here is an Easter egg for that
to be a fuse
show.
box or a generator somewhere on the island.
So this is the back pier of this cabin and island, and there's a dude dressed in a diver's outfit. I'm not going to say anything, Vic. If you haven't experienced it, I'm not going to say more, but I'm going to put the questions out there. And the clock is stuck at, it's hard to tell, is that 7:10? I'm not going to say more than that, though. All right, let's head on down. Kapora, yes, exactly. He's going to ask you if you want to hear him again, and you're going to say yes by accident. Okay, thanks, Alice. You haven't seen this game, Vic? Yeah, so I'm not going to say any more than that, but I'll make a few teases.
Had once been the site for a love story. Maybe it would be that again.
So if you can't see down there, I don't think I can zoom in here, but it has TZ and BJ and a little heart carved on here. And right here at the top of the ridge.
Alice had told me about Cauldron Lake Lodge. The old building used to be a hotel, but these days it was no longer open to the public.
So Wizard Lake actually does have a lodge at the very top of the rim overlooking the caldera as well. So again, this is taken right out of that. And this may be me matrixing information, but having a old hotel that's overlooking the lake just reminds me of The Shining, the Overlook Hotel.
An old generator had been connected to the power cable.
Okay. We got the power turned on. Let's go ahead and take a look.
The lights are on. Good work, honey. I'll freshen up a bit and start settling in.
Okay, I'll look around a bit.
Sure thing. Have fun.
Yes, Peachy, I'm literally for about 8 months I've been doing research on everything I can in this game. Just little stuff like that.
Rest here, sleep here, and forget about my work. I thought we could be happy here.
That thing's gonna explode. No shit. Oh my gosh, look at this. Dude, the lighting here is just gorgeous. Like, who else would love to stay here? Like, for a month. Just hang out here for a month. No internet. Standard electricity, but you have to run a generator and bring the diesel down here. This game and the room 1408 actually inspired me to become a writer. 1408, I only saw the film, I never read the book. I'm actually reading my very first Stephen King book right now, Misery, just because it's directly relevant to this game itself. It's currently streaming at, from what everyone's telling me, 720p, so you're not going to really see how good it is, but I'm running it at 4K on my end. Even though my Streamlabs is telling me it's going at 1080, it's apparently not up rendering at that for you guys,
Alice?
and I apologize about that. And of course, in case you're wondering, take a look at his initials. Remember what's on the tree stump. Ooh, Old Gods of Asgard, yes. Just keep in mind, Mr. Black, we are doing spoiler-free right now. So do not mention it in chat.
I'm upstairs.
We're trying to keep it spoiler-free for everyone who hasn't experienced the game yet. I still need to finish House of Leaves, absolutely. I'm right at the end, too. House of Leaves is very, very relevant to this and Control.
Well, hello there.
Hello there.
I'm not the surprise. It's in the study. Go take a look.
Okay.
Alrighty. Moving on. So she just conveniently decided to leave her jeans right over the banister. Moving forward.
Surprise!
Alice? What is
I'll answer that question in a
I
second,
guess
Max.
I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here, that a change of scenery would get you past...
Damn it, Alice, everyone
Hey, just hear me out. There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He specializes in helping artists. Maybe...
So now you want to get me committed?
No, it's not like that. That's not... Alan? Alan?
Just don't! I don't want to hear it. God damn it, Alice! God damn it! I knew she wouldn't follow me in the dark. I needed some time alone to think things through. Damn it. Alice? Alice? Alice!
Cabin had gone dark.
All right, so yes, this is a point where Alan is kind of an asshole, but I am going to discuss what is going on, or at least my opinion about what's going on in his head and why he reacted so aggressively in that situation. We're gonna wait until we get finish this section, Max, and then I'll address it. It's nothing but cutscenes right now.
Alice? Oh no!
Keep going.
Wake up.
Alice? Waking up in the crashed car felt like I had woken from one nightmare and entered another. I couldn't remember how I got there. All I knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice. The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot.
Thank you, Censors. I appreciate it. So yeah, Alan definitely took advantage of Alice's nyctophobia to make sure she couldn't follow him right there. So basically, House of Leaves, before we move on here, let's just take a quick break. House of Leaves is basically a story about a tattoo artist who moves into a new apartment where a gentleman had just died in. And in going through his stuff, he finds a film critic, a critique, kind of like a film analysis, the stuff that you and I do, on a documentary that was filmed by a famous documentary guy, or whatever they call him, documentary filmmaker, who moved into a house that ended up being bigger on the inside than the outside, and he found doors that don't exist leading into an impossibly shifting labyrinth. And that's all I'm gonna say. So it's 3 tiers. It's the film, or the analysis by a blind man on a film. So it's a blind dude writing a book series on a film, which doesn't make sense because he can't see it. A tattoo artist reading it and having a mental breakdown, and the haunted house story. But it's directly influenced throughout Control.
Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either.
And if you played Control, you know exactly who Dr. Hartman is. And sorry for this graphical things, I do not know what's happening on my end. It's about to fall over. The car is like teetering on the edge here. Alrighties.
The gas station was my best bet. They'd have a phone I could use. It looked like a long hike through the forest to get there.
It's a very bad explanation, but it's very you'll love it. It's very psychological. Okay.
Damn.
And there it goes. So what's going on with Alan in my head is, again, he currently has writer's block, in case you hadn't noticed from the context leading up to this. And it's been a while since he's been able to write a book. This is his entire career, and so his editor, or not his editor, but his agent, his wife, the fan base, are all pressuring him to start writing again. And he can't do it, so he's getting more and more defensive about his position.
Hello? Is someone there? The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
Okay. Take it easy, Max. So, in my opinion, before we read the manuscript, because he is so desperate to keep himself away from that psychological point where he has to confront the fact that he can't write right now, that scene with Alice is basically him going into a fight, flight, or freeze response, where he's being forced to confront something he doesn't want to. So again, it's either fight or flight, and he fights and then he flies, and it's just an unconscious process. All right.
Departure by Alan Wake. The man turned to face me. His face was covered in shadows. It was hard to make him out in the darkness of the forest that surrounded us, but the axe he lifted was plain to see. It glistened with the blood of his victim. He grinned madly. The shadows were alive, distorting his features. It was a scene from a nightmare, but I was awake.
So right now he's finding pages from a book he never wrote, but it has him as the author. Now, if anyone's unfamiliar with Joseph Campbell or the hero's journey, the very first phase of the hero's journey is departure.
Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident.
Really, Kayla? I've never tried drawing, but usually when I get a block, I kind of just go off and do something else for a while and come back to it. Exactly. And I feel like this entire situation about Alan getting the pressure on all sides is going to be very similar to probably Sam Lake's experience when it came to Max Payne 3, or just writing in general, because there was, I think, a 6-year gap, either a 6 or an 8-year gap between Alan Wake and this one. About writing about your surroundings. I'm going to collect all the manuscript pages I can. Okay, so this one specifically is a nightmare-only manuscript. So I don't think this one is actually going to spoil anything story-wise. So we're good, but there is one in this that will spoil story stuff, so I'll put the notification out there.
Barry took another sip of the heavenly coffee. He grinned at Rose. Surely this was love. Rose gushed on breathlessly. The new one will be a masterpiece, I know it. You must tell him not to listen to the trolls in the forums saying Departure will never get finished. He should take his time and make it perfect. I can wait.
Does that sound like any one of us right now? I'm sure we've all had to wait years and years and years for something to come out. I mean, look at us waiting for Alan Wake 2 after 11 years now. Don't rush the writers. I'd rather have a good product rather than a rushed product. Yeah, one thing that I think also helps is going to sleep, actually. Grabbing a quick nap will help with creativity, in my opinion.
Hey, you! Phil! There's been an accident. I need help.
Listen, I need to...
Premium cabins for rent in...
Oh, hell.
Carl Stuckey. Pleased to meet you. Non-refundable reservation deposit required. Fair and square.
Yo, boy. Yeah, and especially if Alan was under the impression... Alice told him he's coming here to go on vacation, to get away from all of this, so that he didn't have to think about writing, and her response is to sign him up with a clinic and get him a typewriter to force him to write anyways, and that probably pushed him over the edge right there.
The Taken stood before me. It was impossible to focus on it, as if it stood in a blind spot caused by a brain tumor and eye disease. It was bleeding shadows like ink underwater, like a cloud of blood from a shark bite. I was terrified. I squeezed the flashlight like my life depended on it, willing it to stop coming any closer. Suddenly something gave, and the light seemed to shine brighter.
Ba-dum-dum. Thank you so much, Jake Earl, for the subscription. Welcome aboard to this crazy train. Because right now, I imagine Alan just doesn't want to think about anything. Any reminder of his work is just going to cause anxiety, depression, all sorts of things.
I had to figure a way out of this. Any second now, and Stucky would be knocking on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
Another Stephen King reference. Concepts of free will. Are we talking... that's borderline spoilery, so I'm not going to mention it right now. We'll talk about it in the comments when the VOD goes up.
Trying. It's the latest thing. Incontestably proven health benefits let you kill.
Yes.
One stone.
Bright Falls Sheriff Station.
You're absolutely right, Cosmo. There's actually a there's actually a line of dialogue, I believe in chapter 5 or episode 5 of this game, that calls where Sam Lake is calling himself out on his references and metaphors. Oh boy, this isn't good. Crap, let's get out of here. Ah! Oh god, and I just electrocuted myself. Goodbye, building. Goodbye. So is Kojima. Actually, funnily enough, Kojima has a cameo in Control. Oddly enough, and Sam Lake has a cameo in Death Stranding.
There were more of them.
Come on, get over here. Get over here. You know you want to. Just walk right through that light. Oh, sorry, buddy.
My head pounded with a concussion. I'd never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone.
Exactly.
Something.
Plague Doctor, the extrasensory lab.
They just disappeared. If I was dreaming, it felt real enough to make me sick.
Alright.
Eerie hand-painted graffiti was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest of supplies near it.
Dakoba, it's actually only in the PS4 release because there were some side quests that only got released into the PS4 version of Control. It was the Dr. Takui extrasensory lab quest line. And Kojima did the voice acting for Dr. Takui. So one little thing that I actually didn't notice until recently, but the the translucent painting here, when you put the flashlight on it, you'll hear breathing. Just listen for a second. Yeah, it was PS4 exclusive quest line. And you kind of notice, like, we're talking about Alan's a fight or flight, a psychological fight or flight
was the last place I wanted to go,
situation.
But I had no choice. I had to get to the gas station.
If you've ever noticed some people who seem to, like, almost irrationally avoid a situation or a type of conversation, usually it's not because they're being difficult, it's because there's something there that they're trying to avoid thinking about or confronting in some form or another. And that's exactly what Alan's doing right here. And while it may be extremely aggressive towards his wife, and she does, honestly, from her perspective, she's trying her best to help him. Which is, she loves him dearly, and it's very understandable. But at the same time, it's just a bad situation all around.
Rose knew she had been gushing, but right now, she didn't care. As far as she was concerned, her brief meeting with Alan Wake was literally the high point of her life. She watched as he got in the car with his wife. She was pretty, confident, at ease with Wake. Not like Rose. They were perfect for each other. She'd have given anything to be called their friend.
Poor thing. How would that be if you were a super fan for some form of celebrity? Yeah, Alan's a writer, but he has his own celebrity status. To meet them and not being able to function around them. Exactly, Cosmo. There's a lot of Misery references in this.
What the hell was
I'm
that?
reading Misery right now just because of this game, and I cannot tell you how much I'm noticing. And if you played the game, you'll know just how much. But Alan daydreams when he's in the in the Oh Dear Diner that she's gonna hobble him.
I realized that I'd have
Super
to
fan
find
hobbling
way
a
across.
writer.
I didn't even want to look at the water.
So I know the first chapter pretty well in terms of where all the collectibles are. But after probably episode 3, I don't know it too well. So hopefully we won't miss too much important stuff. I can super relate hard to him. It sucks because it's clear she's trying to help, but doesn't really understand his issues. He probably doesn't want to talk about it either. Exactly, he doesn't want to talk about it because talking about it means he has to accept the fact that it's an issue in the first place. First step, admit there's a problem.
Barry Wheeler was bouncing off the walls. He jumped on a plane after his calls were ignored by both Al and Alice for several days. It could mean that they were both on a second honeymoon, but Barry didn't buy it. Al had been way too unstable for that. Not sleeping, messed up. Barry had years of experience dealing with Alan Wake, and he couldn't ignore it. Something was wrong.
So he's been suffering from insomnia and other mood issues for a while now. Yeah, Rose is the attendant at the Oh Dear Diner. She's the diner lady. Yes, Donnie, we have noticed several new additions. I've pointed out 2 already.
Stucky was still out there.
1 second.
In the dark.
As soon as he stops talking. The QR codes take you somewhere new, and they are relevant for post-AWE DLC information. And there's some asset changes that more closely tie into Control, but we'll talk about those as we go. Okay. Because he's awake now, just simple classic fight-or-flight response. Exactly, it's a psychological fight-or-flight. All right, so everybody, I'm going to say this right now. This specific manuscript is Nightmare only and does contain spoilers for how the story progresses. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give you ample warning. Anybody who has not played this before, go ahead and mute the game, mute the stream, and look away for a moment. And I will start shooting into the air once it's ready to go. Anybody who has played the game, let's go ahead and check it out. So I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, go ahead and mute it now if you've never played this. 5, 4, 3, and a 2, and a 1.
For a long time, the dark presence had been weak, sleeping. Nothing but a half-forgotten nightmare or a shadowy flicker in the corner of an eye in the forest at night. Not real enough to properly exist, and yet too evocative to fade away completely. Now it was waking up. The rider like a fly caught in a spider's web, each jerk and kick vibrating the strands that led deep into its lair. It was aware of him now, and it could use him. All he'd need was a little incentive.
And we are back. Hypnosis, it depends on your definition of it. There are some that are much more suggestible than others. I personally would not like to be hypnotized. It's the same reason with why I don't enjoy drinking past a certain point, because I don't like being out of my own mental control, so to speak. Are you gonna come after me, or are you just gonna keep dodging? Come on. I'm standing still, and you're still not coming to me, dude. You can barely hear Alan talking, and everything is up to max. I turned down the effects a little bit. Let's turn the music down a hair. Let me know if that works better. Because I know some of the effect volume is a little bit loud. Yep, Alan still runs like he's a limping deer. Even though he's very successful, he has not purchased a treadmill, so yeah. And for some reason... Oh, there we go. That's where we're going. I've been under hypnosis. I could use a booster from Park to help with my arachnophobia. There you go. Yes, it's because he's my darling. And if anyone who has played Control doesn't know, the voice actor for Alan is Dr. Darling. Our best friend, Dr. Darling, voices Alan. Make of that what you will. Okay. Hopefully that helps a little bit.
Taken. They're taken.
The Taken are filled with darkness. So that's what we're calling our enemy in this game, the Taken. Oh, he's in wonderful shape for a rider. He can run 20 feet without falling over breathless. That's better than most. I'm joking, of course. You didn't know you're playing Destiny. I've actually only played a little, like the first hour of Destiny. I never got too far into it. How did you have any glitches? My game soft locked to the part with the wooden elevator because I got stuck in the wall. If it's the elevator I think of in episode 5,
the staircase was broken. I had to make
I
my
know
way
that
up
there
some
is
other way.
that can sometimes happen even in the original release of the game. I'm not sure if that's the one you're referring to though. Okay. And if anyone, I think I mentioned this earlier, but these coffee thermoses actually show up as an altered item in Control. I don't know who writes all these glowing signs. Obviously somebody's writing them and leaving them here for us. But that is all we are saying. Oh, that one. I hear you. Okay. Uh-oh. We're gonna get surrounded. Nope. I know this is the hardest difficulty, but that does not mean we can't still play this on easy mode.
With all this forestry equipment around, there had to be something I could use to reach the top.
Yeah, the dodging mechanic works great until you're out of breath, and then it doesn't really give you your iframes. Okay, we now have a shotgun. Thank you so much, Jake. I'm glad you enjoy it.
I heard them before I saw them, swooping down from the sky and screeching as they came. I spun around just as the cloud was upon me. For an instant, I stared into 100 dead eyes, black pearls glittering in the darkness. I raised the flashlight and the swarm exploded like fireworks. Feathers burned, turned into ash. I couldn't hear my scream above theirs.
And yes, whoever made that comment, I'm trying to read back up to it, but Dr. Darling and Alan Wake were also in Robin Hood Men in Tights. He made an appearance in that movie as well. Before, you know, he went to medical or science school and became a writer. Yeah, like you, Ralph, you couldn't really do too much with the remaster of this, and I don't think Remedy was too involved with the remaster. I think it was a subbed out. But when we get Alan Wake 2, that's when we're going to start seeing RTX stuff, or the ray tracing. Are all the official soundtracks still in the remaster? No license? Nope. As far as I've seen, all of the original licensed music is still here. Nothing has changed. It took them a while to get it back. I think a while back they had to take it down from the Steam store while they negotiated that. And we got a pyramid can right there. Sorry for any of the graphical issues. That's not really the game. That's my PC entirely. I'm gonna try to figure out how to fix it. When Haunted played, oh dude, absolutely.
Well, I was just outside for a breath of fresh air, and what a night! I know most of you are probably
100% Dave, I'd recommend this.
Take a moment, step outside for a spell, and breathe in deep. The weather is absolutely still. The sky is crystal clear. It's like the forest is quietly breathing along with you. As you listeners know, I'm a night owl, and it's on nights like this I wish I wasn't cooped up in the studio. Makes an old man like me wish I could just roam wild. But here I am, and who'd keep you company all night long if I weren't? It looks like I'm not the only one staying up.
So all the product placement was removed, Samick, for Verizon and Energizer. Those are no longer in the game.
Well, I was just taking Toby on his walkies.
Oh, isn't it beautiful out there?
Sure, but Pat, the reason I called is that Toby heard something rustling in the undergrowth and took off after it, and I couldn't find it.
Probably a rabbit.
Sure, Toby loves rabbits.
Well, sure.
Anyway, I figured that, you know, if anyone runs into Toby, they could grab him. My number's on his collar.
And Toby's a friendly dog?
Toby loves people. Usually he comes back, but we were pretty far from home, and it sounds like he went pretty wild there. Great dog, but he's just too dumb for his own good.
Well, Maurice, it's out there now. Hope Toby comes home soon.
Yeah, thanks, Pat.
You have a good night now.
Alright, now we gotta run before we get DMCA'd on that one. Run away, run away. Yeah, so the Energizer one actually got removed before, basically right after the release of the original game. The reasoning why is because these batteries, if you look at the top left, they run out so fast, and Energizer was actually pissed at Remedy for making the batteries run out so fast, because it implied to the consumer, hey, Energizer batteries run out real fast. They don't have a long lifespan. So they pulled the endorsement, or the rights for the ads.
At first, I kept finding the pages as if by accident. The book I couldn't remember was either a terrible and true prophecy, or an act of creation that had rewritten the world. I began to hunt the pages feverishly, for they held the answer to the mystery. With it, I could save myself. With it, I could save Alice.
That's my hope too, Donnie. I'm not gonna comment more on that because I'm trying my best not to really go too far down the spoiler end. But so what do you all think? I already know the answer. Anyone who's played the game already knows the answer.
Closer now. It's light welcoming in the darkness.
What's your opinion on these manuscript pages? What's going on here? I want to hear your thoughts.
Belly Burster is the best with no monster dog is second best. The famous dog is.
And we're maxed out on batteries. So Belly Burster, a hot dog place. It's funnily enough. Wait, hold on. Totally understand the fact that this game got remastered means the Remedy is buying time for Alan Wake 2. Yes. So if anyone didn't watch the H1 2021 report, wait, there's something around me. I can hear it. Epic Games and Remedy have two projects that were in the works at the time. This is the first one. And there's one unannounced project still being worked with Epic Games. Come on, where'd you go? So that second one is very likely going to be Alan Wake 2. Where's the other guy? Where's he at? Stop it. So, in my opinion, the remaster is kind of, one, tiding the fans over. They're adding a few new Easter eggs to get you excited. But on top of that, they're testing the waters to see what the excitement is for a sequel. There is another thermos over here. I know it's here. I'm trying to find it. Well, they've already officially named it the Remedy Connected Universe or whatever it is. Maybe I should just ignore this one. Come on. I'm trying to find thermoses. Collectibles, guys. Leave me alone while I find my collectibles. I'm not sure if they're going to remaster American Nightmare or not. For some reason, I don't think so. There it is. That's what I wanted. Quantum Break, if I'm not mistaken, is not owned by Remedy anymore. Yeah. So, Microsoft still has the publishing rights for Quantum Break, so they can't really do much with it at the moment. Come on. Come on, guys. So it's really easy to juggle these guys. You see, now he's running. You just pop the L trigger to do the bright flash. He stops moving, and you just keep going. Safe haven this way. Thank you, mysterious writer. Yeah, it's too short. Like, it'd be really easy to remaster because it's only 3 areas. But for some reason, I don't think they will. It wasn't as well regarded as the original game.
I stepped into the gas station's garage.
But Pounce slays the demon, yes.
The place was a mess. It looked like someone trashed the place or that there'd been some kind of fight. Light spilled into the room through an open door at the back, and I made my way toward it. Without any warning, I was blinded by a bright light. An old portable TV on the shelf had come alive by itself. Impossibly, I could see myself on the screen, talking like a madman.
So let's just throw this out there, since Universal Union mentioned it about him staying awake because of all the coffee. Do you know what psychological conditions end up occurring to someone when they are kept awake? No pun intended. Maybe pun intended, for too long. There is a thing called sleep deprivation psychosis. I've discussed this phenomenon in the past. Do some research into that, and then we'll come back to this game. Barry mentioned in one of the manuscript pages that Alan does have insomnia issues. Russian sleep experiments knows, absolutely. Hallucinations and delusions. Yep, that's some of them. I gained around 10 FPS from turning down the draw distance. Yeah, I turned the draw distance down a little bit before we started the stream too. Especially when you're out here in the woods, because you're not going to see past the trees, so there's really no need for extended draw distance. Goodbye. Oh no, I'm not experiencing that myself. If I'm one of those, if I don't get frickin' my full sleep every night, if I'm not in bed by like 9:30, I cannot function. So no sleep deprivation for me. Sleep reality disassociation disorder. Yeah, there's a lot of issues that can come up with it. Alright, you guys ready? Are you all ready? Welcome to Night Springs.
Science. It bestows immortality on those who advance it to elevate all of mankind. Newton, Einstein, Sagan, princes among men. But the price for such a legacy is steep indeed. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, a quantum suicide. If our lives are already written, it would take a courageous man to change the script. Having called a press conference, Dr. Barclay Colvin is about to demonstrate that very courage.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I am Dr. Barclay Colvin, and I'm glad so many of you could join me here at the Moorcock Institute. Tonight, I'm going to give a practical demonstration of the many worlds interpretation. As you can see, this is a loaded 9mm pistol. It shall be part of a thought experiment. And now, a real experiment, known as a quantum suicide.
Did he say suicide? Is that a real gun? He's kidding, right?
Please, stay calm. There is no risk. Observe what occurs when I place the weapon against my own forehead.
You got that too, Cosmo? Moorcock?
You might think this round is merely a dud. Not so. Observe the flower pot.
We'll talk about Moorcock in a second.
And yet, I myself cannot be harmed with this gun. With each pull of the trigger, 2 new realities branch off. One in which the weapon didn't fire, and one where it did. With my machine here, I have ensured that this reality is always the former. I have bestowed upon myself quantum immortality. Under no circumstances can this gun kill me.
So wait. What you're saying is that every time you pull the trigger, in another reality, you die?
Yes, of course, but that's completely trivial. There's an infinite number of things that could happen at any moment, and
this is live action, Kayla.
Happen somewhere. The point is, this one thing did not happen here.
You're insane, Colvin.
Insane? Insane?
Hey, was this thing supposed to be plugged in? I stumbled on it.
You fools! Gaze upon quantum immortality.
Poor Dr. Colvin, felled by his own hubris or the ignorance of the masses. Perhaps he should have left the crate unopened, the decaying atom unobserved. Curiosity often kills the cat. In Night Springs.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So in terms of the sunglasses at night, just talk to Jake and Elroy. They'll tell you why you always wear sunglasses indoors. But yeah, Moorcock. So the name of Moorcock is based upon an author named Michael Moorcock, who is heralded as the grandpappy of multiverse in literature. Also, this being Quantum Suicide episode is actually the basis for how they made Quantum Break. The game Quantum Break, which is Remedy's next time out in the writer's chair, was actually based upon, or at least loosely based upon, Quantum Suicide right here. Yes, spoiler-free. We're not going to discuss... Control we'll talk about a little bit more, but in general, we're going to keep the spoiler-free.
Lake? She asked. The sheriff looked at me suspiciously. The early morning light flooded through the office windows. I would probably never have gotten out of the woods alive without her help. But I couldn't tell her the truth of what I'd faced the previous night. She'd think I was lying or crazy. She'd lock me up, and she wouldn't help me find Alice.
So we already know the answer to all of this. But we're talking about sleep deprivation psychosis. Ugh! Sorry, that's bugging me. Those little graphical things are bugging the crap out of me. Yeah, the new reality was created the second he pulled the trigger. So in another reality, he was murdering someone every single time, but it was never him, so it doesn't matter, right? Where's the morality in that? Okay, so here's a quick question on this one. Should I do this fight the easy way or the hard way? Before we run over there, let's talk about it. Easy way or the hard way? What if someone was too accustomed to do virtual world, kind of like VR, and they died in the world, but they die in real life? It depends. If you look at Sword Art Online, they talk about it that way. The scientist actually was immortal. Exactly, so there is a reality, and the only reason it didn't work is because someone tripped on the damn wire. The hard way? Okay, let's do this the hard way then. I could, and this is on Nightmare Mode too. The easy way is so easy. It's fine. It's not gonna. It's not that it's really hard. It just takes long.
The engine block takes hours to cool. Dropping tools.
Basically, what I would normally do is just shoot a flare gun at him, because we literally have 7 flare gun ammo right now. So I can wipe this entire boss battle without having to lift a finger. I can't see him. There he is. Yeah, because literally while Stucky is standing up on that pillar or on the logs right there, you can literally just shoot him in the face with a flare gun and it's instant death. Come on, where are you at? Come back here. But the second you let him jump down, it gets annoying. Not that it's hard, it's just, it takes forever because he's always zipping around like a freaking superhero. Come on, dude. Where are you at? There you are. Stucky! Stop moving! Come on, get over here. And I'll switch to the pistol. Boom, boom, boom. Or revolver, I should say. And done.
Stucky's body vanished, leaving behind only a lifetime of nightmares to come, assuming I'd reached the lights of the gas station alive.
So actually there is kind of relevance, Donnie, to what they're saying. It's not really relevant to the story at all, but it's relevant to the individual who's taken. Basically, it's kind of like, I think they describe it in a manuscript page later, where it's like the nerve twitchings of a dead thing, where the nervous system will keep firing even upon death. So it's kind of little parts of their psyche keep firing on random. And that's really about the only lore behind it, or the explanation behind it. Okay, let's go. Oh, look. There's a parade float.
I recognized the parade float I had seen in Bright Falls when I first arrived with Alice.
1 second. Before we continue on, I need to look up something real quick just to make sure. I want to make sure before we discuss it, because I found something new while I was working on this. Folklore. I can't find it right now, but let's just continue onward. Sorry. Somebody else's problem field can run into 9-volt batteries too. Just going to have fun facts behind it. Okay.
After the insanity I had just experienced in the darkness, the lights of the gas station felt comforting. At least for a moment, the sane world reasserted itself.
And here we are.
Stucky spat on the garage floor and tried to shake the cobwebs from his head. Ever since the couple never showed to pick up the keys, things had been fuzzy. Something, a feeling caught his attention. Stucky looked up and stared as his brain tried in vain to process the horror before him. He stumbled back, knocking over a can of oil. A black pool spread across the floor while he struggled for a brief moment, then let go as the unrelenting darkness engulfed him.
So weirdly enough, there's actually a lot of interesting things right here at the gas station before we go anywhere. But first and foremost,
I had to get inside the gas station to find a phone to call for help.
Oh gosh, $2.99 gas. Oh, I'm jealous. I've seen gas as high as $4.60 where I'm at right now. It is ridiculous. Oh, I know there's going to be an ambush, but we need to get these last 2 thermoses. Actually, since we're not worried about it now, hello, goodbye. At the end of every episode, we lose all of our weapons, so there's no point in hoarding these now. When they hear Stucky? Well, just letting you know, Kayla, the Stucky was actually named after that ship. That's the true origin of Carl Stucky's name here, so you're good. Cool. And that missed them entirely. Wow. You know what? Let's just kill you the normal way. Hi there. Oh, trust me, I know. Campground. Cauldron Lake Campgrounds. Visit the Haunted Witch's Ladle. What is that? Ruh-roh. Okay. Okay, you guys need to stop. Cut your shenanigans. I don't want to see you anymore. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Alright. We're back in the light. We don't have to worry about this. So Alan Wake could have beat... Do you think Alan Wake could have beat Thanos? I think he could have. But that's a whole nother story, and we're not going to go down that pipeline. Okay. So, remember earlier on we came across a radio where someone called into Pat Main's radio broadcast to talk about his dog who ran off and he was looking to have people look out for him?
Toby knew the smell. It was the man. The nice man who always gave him treats and never got tired of playing with him. Toby wagged his tail in excited anticipation and gave a joyous bark. Then there was another smell. A wrong smell. And it was alien enough to stop Toby in his tracks. Confused, he growled deep in his throat. The wrong smell came from the nice man. Blind animal terror pierced the dog's brain an instant before the axe followed suit.
Can we get a rip in chat for Toby? Oh yeah, this is a horror story. It's really sad. There's a lot of bad stuff in this whole thing. So, little bit of thing right here to give you guys an idea. So, when we first arrived on the ferry, Pat Main, the guy we spoke to, said Deer Fest was 2 weeks away. Now it's saying it's in 7 days. So, there's been a week between when we first arrived and right now. Why would Alan write this? We'll get into it later. There actually is an explanation, and I'm not going to say anything about it. And let's just continue onwards. So this one's hard to see. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. So this little sign right here is an advertisement for the company that made the parade float here. And if you look in the bottom right, it's actually the name of the company is called the Kalevala Knights. Kalevala is actually a piece of epic poetry for Finnish, I think it's Finnish folklore. And it's very relevant to a lot of things in to that culture, and you may see a few hints of that throughout Control. But the Kalevala is a big thing I need to read at some point. Very influential to the Lord of the Rings too. Okay, I know that there's a Wagner opera that a lot of the Lord of the Rings is based upon, but I haven't looked at it. Actually, it's not the Janitor. The Janitor is actually based upon a poetry of epithet called the Saralainen, I believe it's called. It's Saralainen is where Ahti is from, and it translates, I believe, to the Islander. But that's an another story. Yeah, this is totally a Night Shyamalan nightmare, and there are twists, definitely. Sorry if I'm standing around. I'm getting a little distracted here. There's some other things in the gas station. So if you look right up here, Breakers Farm Apples. Pick your own apples. So there is a apple farm in Bright Falls, and the surname is Breaker. I'm not going to say anything more than that, but if you've played Control and the AWE DLC, you may recognize that name. 。 I'm not an English major, but I
garage
love
was a
literature.
mess.
I'll leave it at
looked like
that.
someone had trashed the place, or that there'd been some kind of fight.
Actually, I was a music major. I studied jazz performance. I was a jazz pianist.
Right. I'll keep writing. Outside, there's only darkness. Outside the cabin, outside the story, there's only darkness. I can feel her presence in the dark. Just now, I could smell her perfume in the room. I'll reach her. I'll fix it up. I'll bring her back. The story will come true. If I stop, she's lost.
I don't believe this. It'd been me on the TV, talking crazy. Was I losing my mind?
Hey there, Kriegerbot. How you doing? Okay, here we are. Oh lordy. 68th Annual Deer Fest, September 15th to the 18th. The games and activities, raffle tickets, fishing competition, the pie contest, and surprise competitions. Live music. For the children, Bucktooth Charlie afternoons, and the Montgomery the Mystics Amazing Phasmagoria evenings. Don't miss the legendary Deer Fest parade. Yep, everything's working good. There's a few random visual stuff, but that's my PC being weird. I'm going to try to find out what's going on in the settings to fix that. Oh boy, so this is the end of episode 1. We're going to go ahead and answer the phone, and we're going to be done here. Big vibe. Oh, you're going to a state fair? That's fun. But before we close this off, there is one more thing I want to take a look at. Bucktooth Charlie is a nickname. All right, Wall in Watery, the Ama Finnish-style lager. So there is a Finnish beer / lager that is served and brewed, because it's actually the Watery Brewing Company. That is the town that is neighboring Bright Falls, and that is where our dear janitor is vacationing by the end of Control. And remember, he loved his suds, so maybe he's drinking Ama. Not sure if it was on purpose, but the wall notepads. Which wall notepads? Which ones are you looking at? Because there's a lot of these assets that have been changed around, so there is definitely new things. The small ones. I'm not even know what you're looking at right now. There's something on the wall here. It's by the desk, kind of like a sticky note. I'm probably really blind and it's right in front of me. Oh, it's on the wall? Yeah, I'm honestly not seeing anything you're talking about. I'm sorry. Alright. I'll look it up later and we'll take a look at it. Alright. So we are going to, before we head and finish this up, I am going to say we're going to end off the stream here. What I'm planning to do is do 1 episode per stream. Partially because I think it'll be a nice episodic way to do this, but at the same time, it'll give me opportunity to try to figure out what's going on with my PC on this. But let's go ahead and do this. They actually did, Samek. They have retroactively made changes to the assets.
Bright Falls Sheriff Station.
Oh, thank God, Sheriff.
Sheriff Sarah Breaker, you are...
I'm Alan Wake, but listen, I was in a car crash. My wife, Alice, she's missing.
Calm down, Mr. Wake.
We were staying in a cabin on the island, on Cauldron Lake.
There's no island on Cauldron Lake, not since the big eruption in the 70s.
Please, I can take you there, okay?
You look like you've taken a pretty bad knock to the head. Are you okay?
Listen.
We'll figure this out. Please get in the car. We'll swing by the lake and then we'll go to the station, okay?
Mr. Wake, have you seen Stucky, the guy who owns this place?
Yep, Sheriff Breaker. You heard that right, Tacoba.
Forest. She wouldn't have believed me. And then she wouldn't have helped me with Alice.
The same name as the one who owns the apple farm. There's no island on the lake.
A candy-colored clown they call.
And we are going to pause it right there because we cannot. That is a DMCA song right there. So, gasp! What a twist! There was never an island on that lake, but Alan distinctly remembers staying there during the first night they arrived in Bright Falls. He was there. We saw it happen, right? The wife is gone, but did he ever actually go to an island in the first place? Remember, he's been having issues with insomnia. We've been talking about sleep deprivation psychosis. Is all of this stuff going on in his head? Is he going crazy or not? And remember, he got the key from a creepy old lady. A key that takes him to a cabin that's reminiscent of Baba Yaga. Sorry, I'm trying to be all ominous. I'm doing a very bad job of it. Yeah, and it's preserved very well. Very, very well indeed. When's the next stream? It's going to be this coming Friday. We're going to find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. So, what'd you guys think? Anyone who hasn't played the game, we're going to sit here and chat for a little bit before we close it off. What'd you all think? What do you think is going on? I want to hear your thoughts. Yeah, so the guy who had the other key, he was the individual that Alice spoke to originally, booked a cabin, and they were supposed to get the key from him. And they just got a key from the wrong person by accident. So I want to hear your thoughts. What's going on with these manuscript places? Apparently, Crime Wizard, there's a lot of people who haven't played this yet, so we're trying to keep this entire thing spoiler-free. I'm not going to discuss what's happening. You like it so far, Kayla? Good, good, good. Altered item. Very likely. Very, very likely. It's a hard thing. Remember when I was playing the Psychonauts run and I had to make sure no one spoiled things for me? Well, same thing here. I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone else. No, the Poets of the Fall and the Old Gods song are perfectly fine. I got a list from Remedy, or from Vita actually, telling me which songs are DMCA'd and which ones are not, so I know what I can keep and what I can't. Yes, we're reliving Toby's last days. That's exactly what's happening. No, this one's not... Haunted actually plays at the end of the second episode, which... oh boy. There's a lot to talk about the song Haunted as it pertains to other things, but we'll get to that when we get to the end of episode 2. Because Haunted by Poe is very relevant. Very, very relevant. Okay. Take it easy, Universal Union. You enjoy. Ah, boy. Alright. So I hope everything went pretty well on this one. Again, other than a few technical issues, but I had a lot of fun trying to introduce you guys to this, and I'm gonna when I put the VOD up, put in the comments what you'd prefer me to focus on. More of the Easter egg stuff, more of the thematic stuff, which is what I normally talk about on the channel, because that's the whole point. Both, because as you can tell, like, this entire first episode, I can easily get through in probably about 50 minutes, but again, we're stopping and talking a lot, which is slowing down the pace of the gameplay, but I hope it's as entertaining as just playing through. Oh yes, the Alan Wake Discord is going to be going crazy right now. So you think Alan is a writer? I don't know. I can't. That's kind of a spoiler there, Tacoba. I can't say much. Oh, the MCA for the singing the song? I don't think so. Let's just say when some songs show up later on, I may sing a little bit. I may sing a little bit when we get to that phase. The new model? I think the cutscene game model is really good. For the most part, I think the in-game models are a little bit... I don't like them as much as the original, but the cutscene models I like. It's kind of a 50-50. I'm not going to put that in writing, Kayla, but I may belt out a few notes later on. Episode 5. Episode 5 is where the scene's at. Children of the Elder Gods. It's episode 5. That's episode 4. Either way, I might sing in both. Who knows? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to leave this off here. If you have any more questions, go down when I put the VOD up. Drop stuff in the comments, and we'll just have some fun talk there. Will it get creepier than this? That's down to perspective. I don't find this game scary at all, but then I've played it way too many times. Anyways, later, guys. Thank you, Spaz. And I'll see you guys on Friday. I'll go ahead and upload the notification as soon as I get off. You all take it easy, sleep well, or have a good day wherever you're at in the world. Bye-bye now.